you for joining me so late. I know it's late. I'm a night owl. I am such a night owl. Hold on. Nas, Khalees, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. Okay, I think I got everybody in there. Let's save it. Some changes are not. Save it. That should work. Zombie Warrior. Did Nicki really hit Cardi like that? I thought. I mean, look, I'm still like in awe of the entire situation. I'm still like, why did this happen? Um, at this A-list event during New York Fashion Week. I'm still trying to figure it out. What is going on? Hold on. Is Zill's in the house yet? Hold on just a second. I gotta send him this link. Because I know he didn't believe I was gonna go live. I've been running around at the One Music Fest in Atlanta for the bulk of the day. I have a blister on my foot. I'm sitting here with my foot up in the dang chair. I am so exhausted, but I did want to go live before this day ended just to, come and holler at the squad. Hold on. Here's the link right here. To go live before this day. This is the link right here. Share it to Zills. How do I do that? Let me see who's up. Infinite Wisdom, Trina B, Zombie Warrior. Okay, hold on just a second. I know y'all like, what is going on? If you haven't seen the earlier posts, I know some of y'all were confused because I was like, look, I'm going live from the One Music Fest, and my phone, my carrier was not having it. Too many people were pinging on that tower. My live was looking a little sketchy, so I was like, you know what, forget it. So whatever the case, when I stopped the live, it still said I was live on YouTube. So I'm like, people just chilling in the chat. They was having conversations. It was great. I was looking at the chat like y'all was having a good time in the chat without me, but that is so cool. Hey, Crystal Porter. Hey, y'all. Let me see. Hold on. Who else? So I don't know what's been going on with this whole Nicki Minaj and Cardi B situation. I don't feel like either one of them is innocent. I know a lot of people are like, Nicki has been throwing slick shade for a long time now. Cardi B is new in the game. Nicki been in the game for 10 years, and Nicki feels like, she has room to talk and throw shade and do whatever she has to do to stay on top. But Cardi says she's sick of it. She's sick of the backhanded, compliments. She's sick of Nicki Minaj going behind her back, stopping people from working with her. She is sick and tired of it. And she says she's confronted her not once, not twice, but more than that. And Nicki has pretty much, what did she say? She did cop a plea. I guess, tried to smooth things over publicly, but privately, throwing rocks and throwing shade and still doing that shady shit that, bitter biddies do. And Cardi saw her out and she, snapped. She just wasn't here for it. Now, my thing is, both of these women are in the same industry. They both deal with the same people. A lot of people seem like they're staying tight-lipped because, they don't want to have to be forced to choose sides. But at the end of the day, like, it's an embarrassment for both of them, really. I mean, Cardi more than ever because, she lost her cool. She lost her cool through her shoe. If y'all haven't seen the entire post on straightfromtheA.com. Shout out to Jazills for writing it all out for me. TMZ got the footage, the full fight footage. Hold on, I want to put it in here if I can. What's up, Zonia? What is up? Hold on, let me see if I can get this footage of the full fight, honey. That knot though, exactly. We still trying to figure out where that knot come from. Everybody got a joke. Not today, not Cardi, not my shoe, not the knot. It's just one thing after the other with the knot. When I first saw the knot, I was like, well, maybe her makeup kind of smeared right there, but nah, that's a knot, child. That is totally a knot. Trina B. Let me see what's in here. Thank y'all for staying up with me on a Saturday night, live in color, honey. I had to come in the house. I was not trying to hang out no later than I had to because tomorrow is another big day for the One Music Fest. Hold on. That knot ruins the eyebrow beard. It did. It did. I was laughing because TMZ got 3 minutes of the fight footage. Hold on, I'm gonna put it in here right now. Let me get this out of here like that. I'm gonna see if y'all can hear it. Browser window. There it is. See if y'all can see this. Because I was looking at the whole fight. I'm like, Cardi was not having it. Cardi was not having it. That it? Yep. Hold on, let me make this smaller. Cardi B said, y'all ain't playing with me. Bring that to the front. Let me know if y'all can't hear it, because I think it will. It should. Trying to get in here. Damn. Can y'all hear that? Or no? I can't hear it either. Hold on.
You need to fucking stop!
Okay, so Cardi B has pretty much hit the net with an explanation, and she said, "Look, I let a lot of shit slide. I let you sneak diss me. I let you lie on me. I let you attempt to stop my bags, fuck up the way I eat. You threatened other artists in the industry, told them if they work with me, you'll stop fucking with them. I let you talk big shit about me." And wait, what happened? Hold on, I lost it. Oh, I addressed you once in person. I addressed you a second time in person, and every time you cop the plea. But when you mention my child, you choose to like comments about me as a mother, make comments about my abilities to take care of my daughter, is when all bets are fucking off. I've worked too hard and come too far to let anybody fuck with my success. Bitches talk all that shit in they raps, but in real life, they pussy. This shit really is for entertainment. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know about you. But for her to say she's worked too hard to, go through the stuff she's going through with Nicki, haven't you worked too hard to make a fool of yourself on a red carpet? Haven't you worked too hard to take off some designer shoe and throw it across the room at somebody? Haven't you worked too hard to like? I'm just like, your image is just like shot. Like, and not to say that people will stop working with her, because that's what the overall consensus is. She's messing up her own bag by doing this. But controversy sells. We know that. But it's just it's just horrible. I don't even know what to say. Like, we could say Black Girl Magic is null and void, but Cardi B ain't even black. So I ain't gonna even go there. But I just kind of looked at it like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Then on the heels of that, people making up rumors that Mary J. Blige and Faith got into it. It's unconfirmed. Nobody's filmed it. Nobody's seen it. It just popped up out of nowhere. And I feel like somebody just, initiated that rumor, based on the Cardi B, Nicki Minaj rumor. And, the tweets were going crazy on that. Then Mary J. Blige was trending again. Trending, too. Hey, Wanda, how y'all doing? But yeah, I don't believe that. The one tweet that I found that was so funny about the Mary J. Blige and Faith situation was old people. Old people don't know how to film shit anyway, so we'll never see any footage. We'll never see any footage of that. So I don't know that happened. If it did happen, you can best believe Diddy will keep that under wraps. But Cardi B and Nicki, you know. Mm, it's just so much. It's just so much. How y'all gonna do that during Fashion Week? Why y'all didn't do it, during the Hip Hop Awards or something, when everybody would have been there, and the fight would have been on? They would have let y'all fight if it was at the BET Hip Hop Awards. They would have let it go. But them white people at Fashion Week were like, "No, get these Negroes out of here, honey. Mm-mm, y'all messing up our fashions. Y'all messing up our dresses. We can't have that. We can't have that. Not today. Not today." And so then Cardi B, if y'all recall, they escorted her ass out with no shoes on. Where is that picture? I was like, Lord. That was the picture that showed her not on her head. I think I may have deleted it, but it's on my site if y'all care to look. Oh, there it is right there. Let me put this in there. This is so freaking funny to me. And so many people were in my inbox all night long. Like, did you see it? Did you see it? Hell yeah, I saw it. I saw it just like everybody else. But hell, I didn't care about two crazy ass broads fighting on the red carpet. Who cares about that? Well, we can talk about it. We can talk about it, but I'm not gonna like wake up out of my sleep to give a care. Shoot, y'all are so funny. Here it is. Cardi B had that look on her face like, oh God, yeah, I did it. Yeah, I did it. Hold on. She like, yep, yep. What's gonna happen now? And she like she was ready to go to jail too. That look on that bump on her head too. Hold on. Cardi B was ready. She was like, I am about that life, honey. And you are not. You are not about that life. Oh no. I keep zooming in. I'm still zooming in. Trying to get the knot together. Get the whole knot in the picture. Let's zoom in on this knot. There you go. Bam. There you go. We And I'm not gonna laugh at her because the thing is, if you go like, why you gonna fight over somebody who don't matter what they have to say about your child? Why would you like? Who gives a fuck what Nicki Minaj got to say about how you parent your child? Who cares? Anybody? Anybody? Why? Why would you care? I'm at a loss. I'm just totally at a loss. But he said Cardi B. Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If y'all up, I would love to hear what y'all have to say. Let me show you this meme right here too that Zills happened to pick out. Hold on, let me go to the site. Check this browser out real quick. Window capture SFTA. Bam, 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 bam. This was hilarious. This is for those of you who haven't ventured to the site today. Thought I'd give you a little bit, just a little bit. Um, where did it go? That's the meme I want to show. Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing your red shoe. Even if it means sacrificing your red shoe. Just wrote it. Shout out to whoever made that meme. Uh, while Cardi B was throwing shoes and getting kicked out, Nicki Minaj continued on at the party and she was posting, pictures with her and Lala, pictures of her dress, pictures of making sure everybody saw she still had her shoes on, which, we all got our life about it. So that was at 12. This is Cardi B before. Oops, it won't come up. But yeah, just to make my point. He said Nikki better talk about it on her radio show. I'm sure she will. Why wouldn't she talk about it on her radio show? Maybe it's postpartum. It could be. It could be. Yes, there are several. They've been talking about it all night long. I don't think anybody slept. I think they talked about it when it happened. It happened around 9 or 10 last night, and they talked about it all night long. Then the footage began to come out. Then the pictures began to come out. Then the bump picture came out. Then the memes came out. Then Cardi responded, and yeah, and the rest is history. So I don't know. In addition to that, I talked about the Mary J. Blige and Faith. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And yeah, I'm just sitting here like, what the hell is going on? Oh, hi, Naj. Hi, Naj. So, look, I'm just here. It's late. I just came in from the One Music Fest and I just decided to go live just to talk about this situation. I ain't as hyped as everybody else about it. Like, really and truly, I am not. I feel like it was an embarrassment for Cardi B. It was an embarrassment for her team. But again, I don't feel like Nicki Minaj is innocent in the situation. I feel like she has, slick talk her way into uh an almost ass whooping. I feel like Cardi B, some things may, go down behind the scenes that we don't know about that we'll never see. Um, but yeah, Nikki's been hating on her a long time. It's been a lot of things going on, like even with like wasn't it motorsport? Nikki didn't want Cardi on the track and it was just a lot of things going on. And I do feel like they're both guilty. Thank you, Jenna. I do. I love to hear from y'all. Let's take some calls, honey. We can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. You are not innocent. I'm sitting here with my foot up in the chair. 646. Hold on just a second. See if I can put this phone number up here. 646-224-5980. Pin number 840-3583. If you can see that. All I hear is my dog eating.
Please enter your PIN number.
Yes, that's what I said. The
Thank
event
you.
that it
Joining
happened,
the conference now.
I
You
feel
are
like that was
currently the
the
only
the
person in
bigger
this conference.
issue than the event happening itself. Caller 1333. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey, who am I speaking with? Hello.
Tyler.
Tyler.
You hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Where are you calling from, Tyler?
Louisiana.
Hi. So what you think about this situation? Whose side are you on?
I'm not on anybody's side that does that in that type of environment. Like we had New York Fashion Week. Why are you doing that like there?
Yes,
Of
and
all the places.
you dressed up. You got on the finest
And
clothes. I don't understand. I don't understand at all.
yeah. And I hate to even bring this up, but like, why are you doing it around all these white people? Because you know what they're gonna do, and you just feeding into what they already think.
Well, just like if you watch the video, the extended video that TMZ posted, you can hear them on the bike. Come get these Negroes out of here. We on the second floor. Like, hurry up. Like, you listen, when you hear the security, it was like on and popping. Like, she was just another hood rat that they wanted to kick out. And that's what I find unfortunate. Like, you ain't no celebrity when it comes to, in these events acting a fool. No, you got to go.
Yeah, and both of them are at fault. And at the same time, like, what made Cardi think she would be able to get to Nicki Minaj though? Like,
well, again,
I mean,
they're both
celebrities.
celebrities.
You see how they always protected her, not Nicki. I mean, not Cardi.
My thing is, who the people who should be faulted are the PR people who scheduled them to come in at the same time. They knew some stuff might pop off, didn't they?
I don't think they thought that she would just like run up on her, like, you know.
Right. And she did, man. And to see them trying to hold her back, and she was running and holding her back and running, and then she took the shoe off and throw it. It was a lot.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot.
Throwing that shoe was like on another level. Like, what if she would have hit her and like some, major would have happened?
Right.
I mean,
well, as written on the site, like throwing a shoe in some countries is like the ultimate form of disrespect. Like, do you remember when somebody threw a shoe at George Bush that time and he ducked? And so it's like that. I see that it's like, okay, it's a shoe, but that was a big ass shoe she threw.
But you know, she did the same thing to the girl on Love and Hip Hop.
Oh, she
She threw the
did.
shoe at her.
Oh well,
Mm-hmm.
Cardi B is about throwing shoes in, huh? I don't know.
I don't know. I think
Like that wasn't a love and hip hop event. It just didn't warrant any love and hip hop activities. I don't
why they
understand her
like why
mentality.
y'all fighting anyway? Y'all both grown. Y'all both rich. Why y'all fighting?
Well, she said Nicki trying to stop her bag. So anybody that's trying to stop your bag, you might want to swing on them a little bit.
Yeah, I don't get that. She's been the most successful rapper this year. How what bag is stopped?
Well, I
If
mean,
she stopped her
if
bag,
Nicki
then
is
that's
trying to
successful.
stop people from working with her, I mean, and you know, it's a fact, and you know, it's that she knows that XYZ person, whoever it is, um, she may have a reason to feel some kind of way, but I'm not gonna fight nobody over it. I'm gonna play the same kind of games that Nicki playing. If you're gonna play them behind the scenes shady ass games, the more powerful you get, the more powerful you are to play those games back. You know what I'm saying? This year had to pull to stop people from working with Nicki.
But the way she going, she won't. I mean, you only 1 year in the game.
Right.
The
So,
people on the internet that hyped her up, making her think she Beyonce. That's what it is. Not somebody.
so what do you?
But alrighty.
Well, thank
What you saying?
Well, what do you think? About Nicki's role in the situation. As far as the little shade she's been throwing and stuff. Do you think it warranted all of that?
Oh, I think she's wrong too, but I think she's wrong for that too.
Yeah.
But I'm glad she didn't I'm glad it wasn't a full out fight because it would have been just ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for calling. I appreciate your input.
All right.
All right. Good night. Caller 4942.
Peace, light, and love. Peace, God is how you doing on this pleasant night. This is Mr. Hurd.
Hello.
Yeah, yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm saying this is Mr. Hurd. How are you doing on this pleasant night?
I'm wonderful. What do you think about this situation?
Well, what I think about the situation is, I guess it kind of goes back to one of the professions that I, did or ran, which was being personal bodyguards for celebrities. You know what I mean? I feel like it was something that shouldn't have ever happened. I was highly upset about that because the simple fact of the aftermath of her, you know what I mean, getting elbowed in the forehead. However, from what I, just in a general perspective, now as well as I know, you talk about this, that, and the third, but when you go talking about your mom or a child, the gloves just off, you know what I mean? And all
I don't think gloves.
you know what I
I
mean?
don't think a stranger talking about somebody's parenting skills warrants an ass whooping. I don't. I'm too grown for that. I mean, people can say what they want to say about you.
Gotcha. According to some sources, and I'm just going to say allegedly because of your platform and just keeping it professional. She was seen liking disrespectful comments.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. I didn't. I was. And my apology, but I say traveled so much. I was in Florida, leaving out North Carolina, probably passed through there about an hour, back to South Georgia. But yeah, I think I kind of missed that. And as a matter of fact, I love that post you did to the side for what you did on that Cash App thing. I love that. So I said I'm gonna do it old school style. I'm just gonna sing you something to your PO box. You did, but that's another story. Anyway, getting back on the subject. Yeah, I seen that, but yeah, like I said, it's just like I said, it's one of them things. And like I said, in some cultures, some people just have the ability to push those buttons. Now, financially, me personally, I think it was a bad move because like I said, Nicki is a swing queen. You know what I mean? She definitely have a way on swinging things, and you know what I mean. So, but for the most part, I think that her reputation, her status, and everything outweigh and overwhelm that situational issue that took place. You know?
Okay. Well, always a pleasure to hear from you, and thank you so much for your input, Mr. Hurd.
Yes, not that.
All right.
Sure.
Goodbye.
All right.
Caller 4565, you are on the line. What's up, Firestarter? 45.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey.
This is Jay from California. Hey, Firestarter.
Hey, Jay.
Hey.
What's going on? I know you got a lot to say.
Talking about the girl, yes, because this is how I feel. I feel okay. Nicki been dating Cardi B. This is how I feel. I feel like Nicki Minaj only coming for Cardi B because she knows she can beat Cardi B in rapping. You know, there's no competition. And she said that in her interview, you know, she knows she can whip Cardi B in rapping, but when it comes to somebody your own size, as far as Remy Ma, when Remy Ma dissed you, you was gone for almost a whole year.
Right.
And then back to Ra, that big bird, pink telly cutty looking bitch. Girl, I cannot stand her. And I was so happy when Scott whooped her on Black Ink Crew. I was so happy because Ra is a bully. She's big. That's all. She's a bully.
So can you explain to me what she had to do with this whole situation? I know she was there, but what did she have to do with the fight?
Nothing. Oh. She won't clout. The bitch couldn't make it on Love and Hip Hop. You see how long she tried. And if you remember, when Real Housewives of Atlanta first started filming, I think she was like on a couple of episodes of those, like just far as being in the background.
Okay.
You know. But nobody could probably tell because, you know, she didn't have no edges and she had a short hairdo at the time.
Right. Somebody said Cardi needs some thicker skin, and I agree with that. I feel like Cardi B, because she's new at this, relatively new at this, she's been in her feelings a lot on social media. Like when people say stuff to her on social media, when people talk about her on social media, she's always defending, you know, things that people say. Like even when she bought those cars for Offset, the Lamborghinis or whatever, she gonna show her bank statement. Right. I paid cash and all that. Nobody cares. Who are you proving this to? So it's the same thing. Like with Nicki Minaj, like talking about her child or liking something that somebody else posted. Who gives a fuck? Like who cares? Like
yeah, because it's a post. Anybody can like a post or a video. Like girl, Cardi B been pressed since she came in the industry. My thing is this, that Cardi B is the type of person, because you know she got a little touch of the downs and she ain't rap too tight. She should have went to, artist training or whatever they do, artist development like they used to do back in the day. She needs to do that because she's not ready for fame. She blew up so quick, she didn't even know she was going to blow up that quick, you know?
Right.
You only have one album out. It don't matter if Nicki Minaj throwing shade at you or not, it's rap.
Right.
It's the sport. You have one album now. You can't just be ready to knock everybody, girl. You will be you're going to blackball yourself. You're going to be looking like Monique talking about make it make sense.
Not make it make sense. Ooh, well, okay, Jake. You know I appreciate you, honey. Always.
Hold on. But before I go.
Yes.
I don't think Nicki Minaj about that life neither. I don't think Nicki Minaj can fight because
Nicki ain't about that life. Nicki is more about
fight your battle.
Nicki has more words than she has anything else. She's kind of like me in that regard. I know how I can write a bitch under the table, but I can't read a bitch, but I can write a bitch under the table. So, you know, I feel like that's how Nicki is. She can talk a good game, she can rap a good game, but that's about it. She ain't doing that.
Right, but you got to also understand now, you know, we living in a new age and people is really with the shit these days. And, you know, people do anything for the internet. Girl, you can't be running crazy and then pop up at somewhere and somebody see you, the same person you just talked about, see you and expect them not to feel some type of way. Now, however, Cardi B should have held her composure because, girl, you could have called her after the fashion show at the after party. Y'all could have met up somewhere. Like you don't do it here, girl. Like,
yeah, but they have 10 years between each other, and I feel like with age comes wisdom. If Nicki was 25, I mean, it probably would have went down. But you know, it's like you too old for that.
I doubt it.
Like
I doubt it.
You doubt it? 10 years ago, you don't think Nicki would have tried to fight?
What? It's just It's karma. Everything that's come on Nicki Minaj's way, she brought it to herself. When she first came in the game, like I said last time, she came in the game cocky as fuck. You dissing all these OGs.
And she did the same thing to Lil Kim that Cardi is doing pretty much.
Right. You went at Lil Kim, you disrespected Lil Kim, but in interviews you always say how you look up to Lil Kim and you look up to Foxy, and then you dissing them at the same time. You dissing Kim at the same time.
Yeah.
And when Kim dropped that Black Friday, you see Nicki Minaj stop dissing her for a long time, and she just went ahead with her album route. You get what I'm saying? Until like right before Iggy came, and then she bullied Iggy out, you know. But you ain't gonna bully Cardi B because everybody not the same.
Right. Right.
And everybody comes from different walks of life. You can't just bully everybody. You can't think you're gonna be in the game for 20 years and nobody not gonna touch you, girl. Like, you are not untouchable no matter how much money you got. But it's a time and place for everything.
I agree. Well, thank you so much, Jay. I appreciate you.
All right. Oh yeah, and I like your outfit, Michelle. I like that little what's that, a Camino you got on?
Oh, my kimono. Yes, honey. I had to come and change.
Kimono. That's what I mean. Not Camino. Kimono.
Well, thank you, Jay. I appreciate you.
You're welcome, girl. All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Good night.
All right. Bye.
Caller 2100. You're on the line.
Hey, Booski.
Hey. Is this Firestarter?
Yes, baby. I'm in the kitchen making some vegan French fries. Look, I'm in the kitchen making some vegan cheese and French fries. Ooh. Girl, I had to call you, girl.
So I need to be eating what you. I need to eat what you eat. I mean, all this junk.
Listen, I'm about to start a cooking channel, so I'll definitely let you know what it is.
Cool.
You know, but look. You don't remember weeks ago when I called the last time I told you that Cardi B was going to be a part of a scandal? Do you remember that?
Yes, vaguely.
All right.
But, I'm not a big Cardi B fan. I'm not a big Nicki Minaj fan. So the stuff that be like, it just okay. But I kind of vaguely remember you saying that.
Okay. So
is this the scandal?
But it's about to be another big scandal that's going to come out. Okay. First of all, Cardi B is angry about a few things. See, Nicki is a Sagittarius, okay? Nicki baited the hell out of Cardi B because she knew that Cardi B was a live wire. She knew that, first of all, her being a fire sign and a Sagittarius, she's studying Cardi B and she sees how Cardi B pops off on the internet. Mm-hmm. So she baited the hell out of her into what she did. I don't think that Nicki Minaj knew that it was going to be that bad. But she knew that she was going to pull the trigger. She knew that Cardi B was going to do something stupid. Cardi B is green. Cardi B is naive, and Cardi B is a freaking hypocrite. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why she's a hypocrite. Because Cardi B sat there and gets mad at people for doing things that she does. They just dug up a tweet where Cardi B had said something about this girl and her child dying. But when somebody likes a post that somebody else put on the internet, you go batshit crazy. Yeah. Cardi B is angry about a few things. Cardi B is angry because she's realizing that the people around her are not genuine. Cardi B shares the same lawyer as Offset. Cardi B also just caught Offset in the club with his side chick. And she may be going through some postpartum depression. Nicki Minaj has her own issues and her own problems, but she knows how she's a seasoned vet in the game. Cardi B is naive. Cardi B is still listening to the people around her. And when I saw the video, I didn't see that it was a lot of people around her. I saw maybe 2 or 3 people around her. Cardi B is very angry about a lot of stuff. And she said in her music she has to work on her anger. But my biggest issue with Cardi B is that she is a hypocrite. Nicki Minaj is a hypocrite too. But Cardi B, how are you going to get mad for somebody liking a post when you were just on Twitter talking about this girl and her baby dying?
Well, my issue with this too, though, like, how you going to even see somebody liking a post? How you going to care? Like, if y'all ain't following each other, if you ain't dealing with these people, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the same way. If I don't fuck with you and I'm over you, why am I on your shit, watching your shit, and get mad at what you say about me? I ain't going to do that because I know you're going to say some slick shit.
But you know what? That's why I say she's naive, because I feel like there's people coming to tell her stuff. There's no way that she can see everything that everybody's posting.
Right.
Somebody is coming and telling Cardi B stuff, and they're baiting Cardi B. Remember I said Cardi B better watch out for the media, because when the media threw her under the bus on Martin Luther King, trust and believe, whether Nicki Minaj is paying people behind the scenes or not, trust and believe Nicki Minaj is very strategic. She's a fire sign. She knows exactly what she's doing, and she's waiting and waited for Cardi B to do something stupid like that so that Cardi B can mess her own bag up. Nobody's messing up your bag. You're messing up your own bag, because who has something to do with you going in a strip club, whether you threw the bottles or not, but who has something, nobody had nothing to do with you arguing with other people, threatening people on the internet, going in strip clubs, fighting, and like Nicki Minaj didn't have nothing to do with that. Cardi B is angry about a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
And I really feel like at the end of the day, Nicki Minaj is like being very strategic and playing chess with her, and she just showed exactly how green she is in the industry and how anybody can get underneath her skin. And I really feel like, something else really big is going to come out. There's going to be a big ass issue between her and Offset. I just feel it.
I already think there's a big issue between her and Offset, because Offset don't get, like, Offset has cheated.
He's a Sagittarius
cheated again.
too.
Yeah. And
He's
she's
a
caught him a
Sagittarius
gazillion times.
too.
Didn't she just send her sister or somebody to beat some stripper's ass, about him in New York?
Yeah, less than a week ago.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Less than a week ago. And let me tell you something. Now, from what I heard that Cardi B was supposed to be messing with Quavo first, but she ended up dealing with Offset because the record label wanted them to get close to each other.
Ooh.
Okay, but she ended up dealing with Offset. Okay, it's going to be some audio, or it's going to be something that's going to come out between her and Offset. But he's a Sagittarius. He's not perfect, but at the end of the day, I feel like he's really trying to. I feel like in some regards they're talking to their publicist, and I feel like they're trying to clean up their image in some type of way, and this is going to look bad, and this is looking bad. Okay, she approached him in a strip club and everything, arguing with him in front of everybody, and him being a Sagittarius, I'm a Sagittarius, Nicki's a Sagittarius. We don't really like a lot of confrontation. Now, we may do our little slick stuff or whatever on the low, but we're very, very private people. Look at Jay-Z. Look at all of the Sagittarius celebrities. It's tons of us. And you don't really hear about our business and our private lives. And he's going to get to the point where he gets tired of that. And somebody is recording Cardi B. I can feel it in my gut. I can hear it. I can hear it coming out.
Of course.
And somebody's recording her, and it's going to be some stuff that's going to come out back to back to back to back to back.
Wow.
Trust me.
Well, thank you for I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you about the Mary J. Blige and Faith Evans situation. What's up with that?
I don't believe it, but they were trending right after the whole situation with Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, and people were saying that they got to fighting at Diddy's Fashion Week party in the Hamptons. Now, nothing has been confirmed. There has been no footage. I don't know where the rumor started. Again, I haven't been online the past 5-6 hours, so unless y'all know something else, somebody call in to tell me the update. But as far as I could tell, when I was posting earlier this morning, it was just an unsubstantiated rumor. And there was a bunch of tweets, like, here go Mary warming up the fight, Faith, and this, that, and third. And they had all these different memes and stuff. And I think, somebody just started that rumor on the heels of the Cardi B Nicki situation, because who else would be funny to fight? But I don't know. Like, I haven't heard anything else.
Yeah.
But if you Google it, there's a bunch of speculation. Like, did Mary J fight Faith? Did Mary J and Faith get to fighting at Diddy's party? So it's a bunch of speculations, but I don't see anything that's concrete.
But I just feel like with Cardi, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like Cardi is a dressed up garbage can. I really do. I feel like she's a dressed up garbage can. Ooh. You're walking out of there with the big apple over your eye. You're walking out of there with no
that was
shoes
embarrassing.
On. Yeah. And you can tell that she was not in her right frame of mind, because she was like, come over here, bitch. Get your ass over here, blah, blah, blah. I believe that Cardi B is on something. Okay? And I'm not going to tell you what I saw when I saw certain people here, when I was on stage with them in D.C., But I believe that Cardi B may be, allegedly may be on something. I don't because the way that she was going at Nicki, it was no like she wasn't herself. Even though we've seen her act like that in the past, I just feel like it's something else. I feel like it's something else, and I feel like she's very angry.
A lot of people were saying that Nicki was on. Remember when people saying Nicki was on pills? Joe Budden had said Nicki was on pills and stuff, and she was acting really weird, like right before her album came out. So I went down to Cardi.
She did that on purpose.
You think so?
Yeah, Nicki did that on purpose.
Cardi just had a baby. She can't be that deep into drugs, can she?
I don't know, because they say coke stay in your system for 24 hours. I don't know. But, she just, to me, it just wasn't good. It wasn't a good look for her. And she just green. She really green, and she had the wrong people around her. And I really feel like Cardi B is realizing that.
Right.
Is this a fairy tale? Is this my real life? Is this person real? Is that person real? Blah, 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 blah. And I feel like a lot of people around her are also telling her and putting everything on Nicki as her, to try to distract her from what else is going on in her life, which is your man is a freaking cheater, which is you're getting sued left and right, which is, you're not happy, you're miserable.
Right.
And I really feel like that, and I don't know, we'll just see, but I feel like it's about to be a shit storm that's about to come out about Cardi B, and it's going to be some recordings, it's going to be some shit. Somebody around her is recording her. I feel it in my gut, the same way I told you a scandal was going to come out 2 weeks ago. I feel it in my gut, and I know it to be true. Something's going on around her where somebody's recording her. Damn. And that shit is going to come out.
Okay. Well,
so I'm gonna get back to my vegan fire.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm gonna check out your new channel. Send me the link to it.
Okay, I will. And God bless you. Even after I did all that cursing, but I'm slow.
That's okay. He knows your heart. Thank you. All right. Bye. Caller 0845. You're on the line.
Hi, Michelle. This is Classy from Maryland. How are you?
Classy, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. I would like to say that I believe that Cardi B is 150% dead wrong, no matter what she's going through. At some point, you have to be an adult and you have a child and you have to control your emotions and control your actions. And for her to just show out the way she did was it was terrible. And to be somebody's mother, it's just sad.
Yeah. And then to use the excuse of, don't talk about my child. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like, why are you going to fight somebody who doesn't have a direct influence on you or your child or anybody around you? Like, I don't care what nobody say about me. I don't know you. You don't know me. Let's just agree to disagree and move the hell on. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't know. I feel kind of bad for her a little bit, sort of, kind of, but not really.
Well, she needs to grow up, and she really needs to let the BS go. I mean, people are going to always say things about you, and they're going to talk about your children, and they're going to talk about your mother. Right. And you're not in grade school, and you don't have to defend your honor. All you have to do is know who you are and stand in your truth. And like you said, the truth speaks for itself. Right. So at the end of the day, all she had to do was show who she was, and people will see that, no matter what they say about Cardi B, every time I see her, this is how she represents. This is what I see from her. You going in there trying to whip somebody or check somebody or do whatever. You can't control people. And the minute she learns that, the better off she'll be. And I don't know if it's because she's going through something in her relationship or not. But at the end of the day, men will cheat, men will lie, men will dog you out. They will promise you things that will never come to fruition. So at the end of the day, she needs to grow up. She just needs to grow up.
Yeah. I mean, with age comes wisdom. She's still young. 25 is relatively young, and to have so much fame and have so much access and so much money at that age, and not a lot of guidance. I mean, she's learning as she goes. You know what I mean? And not to say I'm giving her a pass for doing this, because this was the dumbest shit I could ever imagine. But at the end of the day, she's a young person who needs to, that needs some guidance.
Well, she definitely needs guidance, and she could learn the hard way, or she could take some advice from somebody who knows better.
Yeah.
And what she needs to do is listen to the people around her and watch some of these other celebrities who go through changes. I mean, you have people being called gay, and I'm quite sure if you're a male and you're being called gay, and people are saying things about you, no matter how much it hurts you, you have to still hold your head up, go out in the world, do what you have to do, and you have to try to show yourself to be other than what was said about you. And Cardi B needs to do the same thing instead of trying to pretend to sing lullabies to her baby on Facebook and do ratchet stuff with her husband and all sorts of stuff like that. She needs to really just check herself, because you only got what you brought to you. Right. Because no matter what Nicki Minaj said or did, it wasn't personal because it wasn't done physically to you. And the minute you tried to approach that woman knowing your relationship, she got what she deserved. She lucky, that's all she got. She could have been drug out of there in handcuffs. Yeah. So she's lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, they just let her walk out the way they did. You're right. But yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that's all I have to say. I know there's other people that got a lot more to say, but I just think she was tacky. She messed up somebody's red dress. I know they let her purchase it or wear it or wig or whatever they do when they go to those shows, and she probably was wearing it to model it for somebody. But whatever the case may be, she messed it up, and I know they wish they could take that situation back.
Right. Well, thank you so much for your input. I appreciate you.
Have a good night.
All right, you too. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Caller 4942, you are on the line.
Yes, Ms. Michelle, my apology on bothering you or worrying your chat tonight. But I had to call back in, because there's definitely a little more that I had to say. But first of all, I want to say now, I don't know your situation or the rest of the people's situation, but one thing that I will say that I do believe that there is a bigger and a hidden agenda that is definitely going on. Well, for one, because I never hear anybody mention or speak about how Nicki has been going off. First of all, before even this took place. Second of all, I think that she also did certain little things to provoke that, because I don't know about some of the people that was talking tonight or where they come from, but as well as I know, when you mess with Mama Bear about Baby Bear, you know what I'm saying, or your child, that's just a sore spot. You know what I'm saying? And in most cases, going to be something that provoked. Now, I do agree with you. Yes, she should not have did that, and yes, she should have implemented, overstood, and overstand, that whole entire situation a lot better. You know what I'm saying? And know with the and I know I was listening with Ms. Sponsor was saying about the fake term called cheating. That's one thing I will say as a people and as a whole, we need to go back to our original state and stage of who we are. You know what I mean? Because we're a spiritual people, first of all, not a religious people. We got to comprehend that not only, that a lot of us that was here before the so-called fake discovery of this land, we got to realize that not only was this land raped and robbed, our literature was raped and robbed. So a lot of stuff that we're walking in and talking in is fake within itself. You know what I mean? I heard Bishop T.D. Jakes teach a sermon one time, and he said, you can cuss at me, but don't curse me. And, and I tell a lot of people this as well. Trained ignorance don't mean that you're stupid or dumb. It's just a form of teaching that have been passed on to you And until you acquire and obtain the right knowledge to, you know what I mean, to understand that, then you're gonna forever be walking in ignorance. You see what I'm saying? So, I just wanted to add that so that our people do the due diligence. I'm sorry, I get tired sometimes I say a word. The due diligence to go back and find out who we are. You know what I mean? To the best of your ability. We got smartphones, smart devices, but we doing everything with it but smart things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And and I just wanted to add that on top of everything because and it's just time. I mean, I'll put it like this: look at a basic nature sense. And even if you go back to the Old Testament, even in that book itself, it tells you that it wasn't supposed to be changed. But we got to realize when you have an with a higher agenda to take you out of your paradigm of what you're doing, then yes, all of that's going to be added in. The first job of the first wife, if you could afford to, was to go out and choose another helpmate or a second one. You see what I'm saying? Even when you look at nature, I mean, even if they got common sense, you know what I mean, not to put two bulls in the same pen, what the hell we look like adopting and talk about a term or this fake term called cheating. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's a sore spot itself within a lot of our people because once you begin to lie, believe a lie, and live out a lie, you know what I'm saying, you're going to forever be a part of that. You know what I mean? And the only reason I mention that is because, everybody's talking about because they think, Cardi B might be in a way of because, Offset is quote unquote cheating. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, once again, and that's my last question to you. I mean, how do you feel, Ms. Michelle, the line is, go, how far should I say the line go? So when people implement and do things, because a child can't protect themselves. You know what I mean? But what is your
child
take
wasn't
on that?
the child ain't being hurt by nobody talking about it at this point. That's a moot point. So I don't.
Well, let me ask you this: Do you think that by somebody as high standard as Miss Nicki, you don't think that she could implement more, little poking and jabbing, as far
Nicki's
as
been poking. No, Nicki is not innocent. Nicki's been poking and jabbing, but I feel like anybody saying anything about your child on social media, I mean, move on. It's nothing. I mean, nobody threatened your child. Nobody said anything about your child per se. They were throwing jabs at Cardi, talking about the things that she has been seen doing, smoking in the club or fighting or doing whatever. At the end of the day, those are just words that you could just move on from, and it didn't warrant the reaction.
But said that, not to cut you off, but said that real fast and say this. Okay, as another example, before a pedophile, male or female begins to go at maybe your niece, nephew, or even your own children, they start out by trying to hold a conversation. So, how do you feel about that, though?
We talking about social media here. We're not talking about,
No. I know, but do you? I'm glad you said that. So, do you not think that? And I'm saying this respectfully, sweetie, not trying to sound, away, but so do you not think that if someone as a high standard as Nicki, her poking and doing certain little things, you don't think that don't open up the door to implement it and open up a door to put more negative energy and all that toward her child? You know what I mean?
Her fighting puts negative energy towards the child more so than Nicki's text. I don't understand your question. No, I don't. I really don't.
Okay, I got you. I mean, you have to have that right. But for me personally, I do believe that it does. You know what I'm saying? And I put it like this. Now, if she had tried to kill her, now that right there, in my opinion, would have been out of line for her trying to get at her. I put it like this. I feel like it might not stop, but I tell you one thing. Whoever or whomever would think twice again before they try to do that. You know what I'm saying? Now how she did it, was it wrong? Yes, it definitely was. I mean, I agree that it wasn't something that's right, and as a lady or whatever, she should have, did all of that. So I agree, with what I'm saying, what you guys were saying and everything. But I just feel like that, 2018 beyond, we got to protect our own. You know what I'm saying? Because that religious aspect of who we as black people are not. It's just not who we are, and we got to get out of that. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want to say, sweetie.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. All right. You have a great night.
You too. Caller 0845, you're on the line.
Hi, Michelle. This is Classy from Maryland again,
Hey,
and I will be real brief. I just want to say that, you know what, we practice decorum when we come into contact with police officers that are racist. We practice decorum when we come into contact with our bosses, no matter how good, ghetto good or whatever you want to be. You know you need that job to feed your family, so you get it together. So at the end of the day, all I'm saying is that I'm not trying to diss Cardi or anything like that because I don't know enough about her. All I'm saying is she was 150% wrong because she never should have approached the woman knowing that there was a problem and knowing the circumstances of what they have been discussing. So if I've been talking about running up on you or you running up on me and then you come and confront me, the first thing that's going to come to my mind is, oh, she's coming to cash her check, and I'm going to be ready for you. And if my people's around me, then they're going to step up and they're going to try to, handle the situation. So at the end of the day, there's no disrespect to nobody. It's just the fact that she was wrong.
Yeah. Which one? Cardi? Cardi was wrong for running up on Nicki?
Yes, because she approached her the wrong way.
Yeah.
You don't come at nobody when you know you got beef with somebody. If you want to talk to them, then you come waving the white flag. You don't come telling them what they not gonna do or what they shouldn't do, because we know how we could be. And first of all, I see you coming. I'm like, okay, let me brace up because here she comes.
And when she saw her coming, and she got her security in place. Like, first of all, we both celebrities. We both on the red carpet. At the end of the day, if Nicki had came at her, or vice versa, you ain't getting through. Not on no old violence shit. Not out here. That ain't gonna happen. That's what bodyguards are for. So I mean, Cardi was wrong. She was wrong. But again, Nicki has been wrong too. So again, I ain't on either one of their side, honestly and truly. Yeah.
It's not about
said a lot of slick shit. I'm with Cardi
right
on that. Nicki done said a lot of slick shit, and she continues to say a lot of slick shit. So I mean,
and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because we all had
right.
people that broke our hearts, embarrassed us, humiliated us,
right.
hurt our feelings, and we just have to live with it if we want to be civilized folks.
No, you play chess, not checkers. You know what I'm saying? She could did a lot of stuff behind the scenes to fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like going at her and ruining her own reputation in the process.
Right, because it was tacky. It was tacky. It was embarrassing, and she made a fool of herself. And then to be walking out there with a knot on her head because that woman that was behind her in that white dress saw her coming. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when she stepped up, Nicki already had it planned out because she probably knew she was going to approach her. I don't know if she did or not. Maybe it was a coincidence the woman in the white dress was there, but at the end of the day, she handled her. And unfortunately, you made a choice, and the decision was made for you. Right. So now you look like an idiot walking around with a knot on your head, and now you got to rock your baby with a knot tonight.
Okay, well, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you.
All right, and I won't call back with no more of my drama.
Oh,
Good
you
night.
can call back anytime, honey. No, I appreciate you. All right.
All right. Bye. Thanks, Michelle. Good night.
All right, good night. Caller 4565, you're on the line.
I'm going to tell you, I have to call back, right? Because that man, whoever was on the phone, girl, he was just rumbling out of his teeth.
Let the man rumble, honey. Let the man rumble.
But everybody keeps falling. Everybody keeps, saying Nicki Minaj is right. But at the end of the day, like the lady said earlier, Nicki Minaj is strategic. She's very strategic. And you can't keep picking at somebody and expect them not to. blow up. Everybody have a breaking point, period, no matter who you are. Even Barack Obama and Beyonce got a breaking point.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said earlier, it's always the right time and the right place for everything. But sometimes, like I called you last time, sometimes people just got you messed up, and sometimes you have to take it there.
Okay.
But Cardi B was definitely wrong for acting a fool in that manner, and some people were saying Cardi B was waiting for Nicki Minaj to finish getting off the red carpet so she can confront her.
Oh.
So 9 times out of 10, it was planned, and Cardi B released like a snippet of a verse, and where she was throwing shade at somebody.
Uh-huh.
So I guess we now know who the shade was directed to.
Ooh.
And people were saying she didn't have that verse. So a lot of people saying it's strategic, but even if it is, even if it wasn't, it was a dumb move.
What the verse say?
Period. And then you see Nicki Minaj in the back talking about, I'm standing right here. I'm staying right here. Girl, bye.
That's what I'm like.
She was 100 security.
She was definitely antagonizing her. That's why I was like, yeah, it's hilarious.
Right. She's a bully. That's why I said earlier when I called her, she a bully. But she only bullies people she knows she can beat up because that's what bullies do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You pick people, you provoke people. She a master manipulator. Wow. She a master manipulator. And God don't like ugly girl. And Lil' Kim did a runway in an all yellow dress, and she had her wet and wavy, legendary Lil' Kim hair. And then now Nicki Minaj at the fucking fashion show with the wavy, wet and wavy cheetah print hair. Like, girl, bye.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Like, how you gonna be throwing shade talking about bitches need to pay homage to you? These bitches is your sons and this and that. But girl, your whole career is like a kleptomaniac. You just stole your whole career.
Uh-huh. Well, thank you.
So you can't, just because Cardi B made a mistake, nobody's perfect. We're all human. She got the knot on her head, so she obviously know it was a bad move on her part.
Right.
But to lighten up the live a little bit, Nicki Minaj must have got her bodyguards from Beyonce. Because, girl, if your bodyguard can elbow somebody like that and leave a knot on their head like they just got done fighting Debo, girl, he a bad mother lover.
Lord. Well, what if Cardi's own shoe hit her in the head when she was like, holding it back, getting it ready to throw? Them shoes were kind of clunky.
Girl, Cardi B threw them shoes. That goes to show, honey. She don't care about no name or no dress or no shoes, because sometimes, like I say, you can take the person out the hood, but you can't just take the hood out the person. It takes time for a lot of people. And like I say, Cardi B is a little touch with the down. And y'all know she got a little problem, her and her sister. So we're going to give Cardi B the benefit of the doubt, period. Let her put out another album. And now, when that album come out, people need to criticize her the same way they did Nicki Minaj. It'll only be fair.
Okay. Well, thank you again, Jack.
Period.
I appreciate you.
All right, Michelle.
All right. Bye-bye. Caller 8555. You're on the line.
Hey, Michelle. How you doing?
Hey. Who am I speaking with?
This is Miss Jackie from Birmingham.
Hey, Miss
Jackie. I thought you knew my birthday now.
Miss Jackie.
Oh, before I get on Nicki Minaj.
Miss Jackie, I know you now, honey. I know you.
Oh, okay. Before I get on Nicki Minaj, I just want to say, when I called the last time and that young lady behind me called, talking shit and calling me out my name and said I was 89 years old, that bitch just don't know I am not 89 years old. I'm very vibrant. I'm very good looking, and I still got it going on, and I can give her a run for her money. But people like that, I don't pay no attention to because they're just a rat.
And that's my point.
Like, rat.
Don't pay attention to nothing nobody say on social media. Y'all don't know these people. Do you see how people say shit about me every day? I don't know these people. You think I give a damn what they say? Don't
Did you hear what she said? Did you hear what she said about pausing somebody? She was going to somebody's husband and thinking about pausing with Peanut something because she had
that was a joke caller. She was calling from Anonymous. That's the same lady who pretended that she was New York that time. So yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
But anyway, I just wanted to say that's one sick person. But I'm putting to you like this: when it comes down to Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, what you all got to look at. Yeah, I haven't even seen the video. I just seen just a little bit. I'm just getting in, but I'm just going by what I see. Nicki Minaj has always been a manipulator. She manipulated things when Remy came out with Lil' Kim, and Cardi B is falling for it. And I remember Cardi B saying who she's going to get back at once she had that baby. And so her hormones is kicking in, really. And her hormones is kicking in from having that baby. And you go through something. I actually think she got back out there too soon. I really do. And I really feel sorry for her. And then she got a young baby, man cheating on her, Nicki pulling her straight. Nicki know exactly what she's doing. She always come out against somebody and try to manipulate them to get what she want, and she end up getting it in the end and thinking she gonna win. And getting that radio station, that ain't did nothing for her. That ain't did nothing for her. But she's always been a little ticky because from her first starting out with the stuff she wore and all this paint on her face and the things she do crawling all over the floor, it is something wrong with somebody like that. But I'm going to tell you, she's jealous of Cardi because Cardi got everything she wanted. Cardi got a husband. Cardi has a baby. Cardi has #1 album. Okay? And that's something that she hadn't been able to accomplish in all these years. And to be frank and honest with you, I don't think she could have no kids because Safari done tore her walls up. You know, for the many years they done been together, I don't think you'll ever see her with a child. And she's got resentment, and she's actually got anger. She's got anger issues. She always have had anger issues.
Well, the last thing I'm gonna do is baby shame a woman. I don't know. Like, Nicki has plenty of time to have a kid. You know what I'm saying? Just because she's 35 and or however old she is, and
she don't have no children.
Like, you don't know that. She may have just focused on her career, and you know, so you can't just.
Nicki ain't able to have no children. She ain't gonna be able to have no.
You don't know that. Don't say that. You don't know that.
Michelle, I'm not being mean or ugly, but she's not. And to be honest with you how even sneaky she is, she don't need none.
Oh.
Because she got some evil, sneaky ways, and you can't be like that. And she's jealous of Cardi. It's not about the songs or nothing. She just outright, because this girl got everything she wanted, everything within 2 years. Her husband may not be worth a shit, but she got one.
Well, who wants one if he ain't worth the shit?
I wouldn't want him, but
that's
I'm just saying.
So
but
who cares?
Nicki looking at it.
That's my problem with that. Is my problem as a single, strong black woman who is unmarried with no kids. That is my problem with a lot of women today. Because the first thing they do to demean a woman is say, "Well, that's why you ain't got no husband. That's why you ain't got no kids." But if you got a husband that ain't shit, who winning? Who winning?
But look, Nicki. Everybody knows that there's something wrong with Nicki. There's something wrong with her.
Okay.
She's evil. She got too much evil in her. I'm not talking about all women.
Yeah.
I'm talking about her. I'm not lumping all women in the same boat. I wouldn't dare do that. Yeah. I'm talking about her particularly. Because I remember that child coming out when she first came out. And I watched her and I see it way back then. I said, she got issues.
Okay.
She got issues. She got real issues. But that's all I wanted to say. And I hate things went down.
I think her and Cardi are a lot more alike than they are different.
You know what? I said like the same thing.
That's where the dilemma lies. Because even though Cardi has a man and a baby and whatever, they are similar as far as, you know, that whole stripper mentality, you know, pay for my pussy, do what, you know, like they, like, listen to Nicki's lyrics. Like, there's nothing female empowerment about it. So I you know, that's why I was like, they tit for tat as far as I'm concerned. So I ain't team Nicki. I ain't team Cardi. I just look at the situation like it was just two hood rats getting ready to fight on the carpet. It's not representative of me.
I agree with you on that. They both are hood rats. They both are hood rats. And I'm just saying, when a woman have a child, she go through postpartum and I think she got back out there too fast, and I think she holding on to grudges, she holding on to that ghetto life, and she's got to grow up and realize she's a mother now, and things need to change, and you just can't go out on a whim. And then, once she's supposed to be connected with some kind of gang or something.
Yeah, honestly, as far as Cardi B having a child and all that, I think Cardi B had that baby to secure a bag. You know what I'm saying? What better way to secure a bag than to get with one of the hottest rappers in entertainment right now and have a child? She was still in that stripper mentality. Let me secure this mark right here, so I'm set. My album. This is my first time. I could be a one hit wonder. I don't know. So that whole marriage and baby situation and hopping in it, I just sit back and watch.
Yeah, but how can she secure something? What is he doing for his other kids?
Yeah.
Did she see what was going on in that situation?
The same way people think they securing a bag with Future. At the end of the day, they getting something every month. It's more than they would get without the child. So I don't know.
Well, all I can say about that, these young folks got a long way to go. Both of them got a long way to go. But all I know is that both of them got a kick, and I really hate it. But I really don't believe it's over with now. Now that I think the line has been crossed when it got physical. So I don't think it's over. It's sad, and I don't think none of them is doing what they should. Her, Nicki, or her husband. He out there getting arrested and everything else too. So I don't know. I don't know. All I can say is I pray that the Lord look out for all of them, and they get themselves together and they stay in each other's lane. You do your thing, I do my thing, and let it go. And it ain't got to be that deep, because after all, at the end of the day, you need to be looking at trying to take care of your future, securing your future, especially Cardi with a child, because that guy may not be there for you. Okay? And she really don't know a whole lot, and she needs to surround herself.
With her with that child and her with, I guess, Offset's whatever money that he has or will get. That was her reason, for quitting the Bruno Mars tour. Like, I have a baby now, I have a husband, like, he can make up for the money that I lost. You know what I'm saying? So if she didn't have that child, you think she would have, anyway, don't even get me started. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Thank you so much.
All right, Michelle, you have a good night.
All right, you too. Cardi B is just such, I just can't comprehend a lot of what they do. That's all. I just sit here and watch, and I listen to y'all, and I'm sitting here like, yeah, it's all just a ball of confusion, like Andrew Caldwell says. Caller 25-513, you're on the line.
Hello?
Hello. Hi. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, this is Lisa from Illinois.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good, Michelle. How are you?
I'm great. So what do you think about this situation? Are you team Cardi or team Nicki or team nobody?
I'm team nobody, because I'm really, I'm older, and I'm just sitting back watching. That's what's hot. That's what's on the news. That's what people talk about. This young generation and all. But with that being said, Cardi and Nicki as two black women, they don't realize how
one black
great
woman
they
and
are.
one Afro-Latina.
Oh, well, then that's true too. But she's still considered what, the brown.
But I don't think she considers herself black. She doesn't consider.
You don't think so?
No, she doesn't.
I haven't followed her that much to even know that. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to look a little bit harder at that.
Yeah,
though.
she doesn't.
But she's still considered brown for
brown
society. So but even as women, they doing great, and then they sitting around here doing stupid stuff. Everybody keeps saying, well, that's ghetto stuff. Ghetto. No, that's stripper hoe stuff. Okay? I think it's a difference between ghetto and being stripper hoe, because they act like they digmatized or something, that they focus on the wrong shit.
Well, the stripper hoe mentality is they put a cost on their pussy. That's the stripper hoe mentality. That ain't all women's mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like my time has value, but I'm not charging for my pussy. Like, at the end of the day. So that, you know, that's like they just on some other stuff. So you just sit there and watch and be like, you know, like mine is priceless. I don't know. You put a dollar amount on yours, but mine.
That's right, girl. You are so right. But then their mind. Okay, that's the next point that I was getting to. It was we should learn from I call them our ancestors. Our ancestors, you know, is back in slavery. But we need to learn from the people in our past, people that has passed on that you probably, I'm a little older than you, but the people we grew up on and the mistakes that they had. Mm-hmm. You know, like take it back a little bit, you know, like Aretha Franklin. That's why she started, you know, getting her money on top, saying, you know, these people in the industry is not right. Mm-hmm. Okay, learn from that, or learn from R. Kelly, who cannot fucking read and read nothing about his contract and get fucked up over all his money. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that Cardi B is that smart in that area. I don't know. She says some smart things sometimes, but to me, sometimes, because I think they were just kind of making a mockery out of, you know, they knew she was ghetto. They knew all about Cardi B when she up in, you know, she all on national TV talking like that, and they laughing at her and carrying on, but they like that. White people love to be entertained. Always have. Always have. Yeah. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so whose side are you on? Anybody? Nobody? I just. What do you think is gonna come?
I'm not. I like. I don't know. I like Cardi and I like Nicki, and they kind of two are the same but a little different. You know, Cardi was wrong for sitting up there throwing that shoe at that girl. You know, she was definitely wrong for doing that part. She could have just argued. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you start you physically putting your hands on somebody, you taking that to a whole new different level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or you throwing a shoe trying to hit somebody. And that's why we can't go nowhere, because white people don't give a fuck about them fucking each other up. They don't care about that, but they care about, okay, you putting other people's lives in danger. You know what I'm saying? Who gonna pull out a gun? Who gonna start shooting? You know, a bullet don't have no eyes. Who gonna get shot next?
Right.
You know, so they don't care. They let them hoes fight all damn day long. They don't care. But when you in their environment, when you in their area, and you acting like that, that's a problem.
Well, clearly it was. So, we see Cardi got escorted out.
Yeah, and they got that knot on that head too, didn't she?
Exactly.
But you know, they could. Now look how close that is to her eye. Why her eye couldn't get? You know, her eye could have got put out. Well, I mean, you know, I know hindsight is 2020, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
You know that it could have been worse.
Yeah, I agree.
But what? So somebody said something about your baby?
Somebody liked the comment or whatever the case may be. Nobody cares. That's what I keep telling y'all. The stuff, words, all the stuff y'all talk about, nobody gives. That's the ghetto mentality that gets on my nerves. Like, people can roast and gag and say what they want to say about you, but at the end of the day, if it's not true and it's not affecting you and it's not affecting your money, but Cardi did say Nicki was affecting her money. That's a whole nother thing. But if it's not affecting my day-to-day operations, I could care less what you had to say about me. You know.
That's the attitude you have to have when you're on the receiving end. But, you know, Michelle, it's just like, I have commented on some blogs or whatever, and people will freaking go in. I'll be like,
they will.
I only said this. I only had this little comment, which I didn't mean no harm towards nobody. They just took it to a whole new different level. And that's like, on everything you say, you can't say nothing.
Right.
You cannot say nothing. I give your opinion on nothing. You know, let's just have a conversation. People don't know how to have a conversation.
They don't.
No more.
The first thing they're gonna do is start cursing and calling you names and take it personal instead of like dealing with the argument itself. Social media is something else. But I mean, you can't control what people say and what people do. You can only control your reaction to it. And so that's my thing. It's like, I ain't gonna argue with a fool because can't nobody tell who is who at the end of the day.
Right, exactly.
So
Exactly. And that's what happened to Cardi when she was laying up pregnant and had to sit home. She got on and you know, social media is addictive. You get on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all that, start following that stuff. You find yourself hours and hours looking at stuff, and then you got thousands and millions actually of people who's commenting.
Right.
So you trying to read everybody comment? Are you crazy?
Yeah.
So a lot of times I be wanting to comment on some things, but I don't. You know, I just move along. You know.
Because some things ain't worth it. That's my point. It's like, some things just ain't worth it. You just be like, oh, okay, girl. And just change the channel, or change the station, or change the page, or whatever the case may be. Let me just keep moving. Okay, laugh, giggle, and move on. You know what I'm saying? Like, but everybody doesn't have those kind of coping mechanisms. You know what I'm saying? Everybody hasn't been through enough to know that, you know, they can walk away. They can, you know, not read it and not respond. They can, like, you know, everybody just doesn't have that. So, you know.
That's true. And then another problem is we don't know the age of who's saying what they say. And, you know, sometimes a person have came back and said something to me, and I'd be like, well, are you 18, 19, 20,
12,
25, 30, 40, 50?
Right. 12. Exactly.
I don't know. So am I arguing? Here I am, you know, 50-plus-year-old woman arguing with a 12-year-old. That's crazy, right?
Because you have no idea who behind these computer names, honey. You arguing with nameless, faceless people. And like I always say, when you arguing with nameless, faceless people, you ain't gonna never win. What's the point?
You gotta go with. What's the point? That's why I really enjoy your channel, Michelle. I've been kind of following you for a while.
Oh, thank you.
And you kind of look like my mom when she was younger. You know.
Aww.
I think you're beautiful. I think you have a beautiful spirit. Some things I disagree with you on, but I went on.
That's okay. We can agree to disagree. Look,
That's
I don't think I'm right about everything. I just think, you know, I have my opinions. Y'all have your opinions, and you know, I just listen, and y'all listen to me.
That's what I like. Right, that's what I like about you, because you will let people, you know, and that's what you should do. That's what people should do. Let people have their own opinion. Don't get mad, you know. Just say, you be like, okay, well, all right then. Well, I'll talk to you later.
And
you know,
funny
then they first call back the next day, and you still have the, you know, the inviting attitude. And that's great. I mean, people, we still got to live in this world together, don't we?
Yeah. It's funny because as a blogger, you know, it's my platform. I built it. But when I write things, people come on there, they will curse me out from here to next week. You can't stand Kenya. Fuck you, bitch. Da, 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 da. And I'll be like, okay. But if you feel a different way, you know what I'm saying? If you feel it, start your own platform. I didn't say I was the end all be all. I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I write my opinion. You have the right to your opinion, and let's just move on. But you know, it is what it is. I love it.
I thought about. Yeah, I know you love it, and that's great. And I know your story. You know where you know, and which too, I would love to do what you're doing. So I admire you. I mean, that's great. You know, I don't know why I haven't tried to get my own channel and hope that it be as good as you. You know.
I mean, ain't nothing to look. I feel like I tell everybody this: the internet is big enough for everybody. Everybody, like even these people in the comment section, you can start your own channel. You can do whatever. You don't even have to be on camera. Put up a picture and just talk if you want to. You know what I'm saying? People do it every day. You don't have to be on camera. I mean, shit, I didn't want to be on camera. And look, I am. And it's like, but when you get on camera, you do have to know that people are going to scrutinize you. Again, you have no control over what nobody say, whatever. Let them say what they're going to say and move on. And don't give weight to people that you don't know. Nameless, faceless people. I don't care if there's 1,000 people saying you ugly. It don't matter. It's 10 out there saying you cute. And you need to focus on those. You know what I'm saying? So it's just funny to me.
All right. Well, I tell you what, I say, if I start my channel, you give me a shout out.
Definitely. Hit me up in the comment section too, so I can subscribe now.
Okay, I think I just put it on my computer. I think I have to start a channel on my computer in order to comment on my computer, but I'm on my phone, so I'll be more on my phone more than I do on my computer. But anyway, I'll I think it's Lisa something 1,000, 1,100 or something like that.
Okay.
But I'll say something to you.
Okay, cool. You know, I'm support the squad. We all can be great, Ernie. We all can be great together.
Yeah, I consider myself a squad.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your input.
Yeah, and I'll call back more.
Okay.
I mean, you know,
good.
Yeah. Keep it up, Michelle.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. And good luck on your channel.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Caller 3818, you are on the line.
What's good, Michelle?
What's good? Who am I speaking with?
This is Sean from Los Angeles.
Yes, Sean from LA. How you doing?
Yes, I'm doing great. You look lovely tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. So what do you think?
I just wanted to... I'm on both of their teams, but keeping it real, both of them is wrong. Like, let's speak facts and keep it real. Mm-hmm. Cardi left the tour with Bruno Mars. She could have been having a whole new fan base, but instead she chose to stay at home, follow Offset at strip clubs, fight, when she could have been making money on tour. And, you know, with her trying to fight Nicki Minaj, you know, you said that you wasn't that well to go on tour, but you're well enough to fight and do all of this stuff. And then when it comes to Nicki Minaj do a lot of stuff behind the scenes, you know, when it comes to money. Now think about it. If you're an artist, Michelle, and you got other teams doing all these things, you know, trying to take your money, of course, you handle yourself accordingly. You're a professional, you know, grown woman. But let's look at it. It's about culture. Cardi comes from the hood. So even though women know how to conduct themselves, but she's 25 years old and she got all this stuff going on, it was natural to just act a mess. I mean, it's home for her. So, you know, I just wanted to speak on, you know, cool facts. What you feel about that?
I said it before. I feel like if Nicki was 10 years younger, like 10 years ago, I feel like she would have done the same thing. With age comes wisdom. She's got 10 years, you know, in the game longer than Cardi. You know what I'm saying? Cardi just got here. So, I mean, she's at a place where Nicki was 10 years ago. I feel like they both have similarities. They both are the same to me. You know what I'm saying? They both ratchet. They both got ratchet tendencies. They both are throwing shade. You know, Cardi is in her feelings, whatever the case may be. Nicki was there last year. Nicki did the same thing. So, again, they both wrong.
Because when you think about it, Queen Radio is really just a plot because of her having so many low tickets. She needed something to generate revenue. So why not have the Barbs, you know, get on the radio? And if you notice, she's selling a lot of stuff about her tour.
And she's using social media to her advantage, like with Queen Radio.
Yeah.
You know, she knows about trending topics. She's using that. She's basically creating her own form of a blog to promote herself, which is semi smart, but at the same time, you would rather have other people praise you than you sitting there praising yourself.
Yeah.
You sitting there praising yourself.
Well, it's like living in your own fantasy. And to mention, you know, she called up T.S. Madison, you know, this Thursday. I'm sure everyone know. But if you really listen to the interview, she kind of low-key made a mockery out of her. She had her people call her a man. Then she laughed low-key. You know, she was laughing at it, but at the same time, you know, showing her love. But at the same time, it was kind of like a joke. But at the same time, she was laughing at T.S. Madison old school cadence that she has. But at the same time, like I said, Nicki Minaj, you're not 15 years old, but since that's what you cater to, you know, she was kind of like, you know, stopping. Like they were stopping when T.S. Madison was doing certain jokes and stuff, basically saying, oh, nah, you don't really fit in with us, but we're going to laugh and be cool at the same time. You feel me?
Well, I don't listen to the radio show, so I can't confirm or deny. But you know, I feel like, you know, the whole Nicki Minaj Queen's Radio and Queen's Court, we all see the similarities. We all know that's where she got the idea from, whether she says it is or not. It is what it is, and I don't have an opinion on that. I'm just gonna leave that over there.
Yeah, that's real. Well, I enjoy getting talking to you, whatever. I just wanted to show you some love and let you know I respect how you be you instead of trying to be like everyone else, be way out, do this. You do you, and it works great for you. Continue to be that way. God bless you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Bye-bye. Caller 1333, you on the line. Hello.
Hey, calling back. Hey, Michelle, I'm calling back.
Who is this, Jay?
I just have two things to say.
Jay, what is you doing, Jay? Now go ahead.
Why people keep on throwing up this excuse that she's from the hood, so this how they act? I mean, everybody's not from the hood, but everybody, even people from the hood know how to act. So what is that excuse? How old is she got to be to know how to act? She's 25. She's not 12. 25 is grown.
Well, I'm not saying that she's from the hood and that's why she's acting the way she's acting. I personally feel, I don't know. She's grown, but she has a lot of growing to do. 25, you're an adult legally, but you're not an adult.
I'm 24 and I'm not from the hood.
Well, I get it, but I think the things that you will do at 24, you won't do some of the same things at 34. Trust, you won't. You won't even think the same.
Yeah, I understand that, but come on. Now, another thing, why is it that black women always bash other black women when they don't have kids or not married? Have you noticed that?
I'm right. I don't know that it's always, but yes, it happens often. I don't know if it's just a black women thing or if it's a woman's thing in general, but yeah, it happens a lot. Because a lot of people put value on having a husband and a child. It is what it is.
But what's wrong with pursuing your career first?
There's nothing wrong with it, but a lot of people feel like the end all be all is to have a husband and a child. Some people go to college to get a husband. So, there's different levels to different things. Everybody has their own, path, and some people feel that, that is their path. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with either one. If you want to be a wife and a mother and that is your goal, then that is your goal. You know what I'm saying? Some women, they choose to hold off on doing that, So I don't think
I understand, but I'm just saying we shouldn't bash people if they don't want to have kids.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay.
Well, thank you for calling back, Jay. I could flip the script.
You are currently the only person
and talk about Nas and Khalees, but we have been on a long time. It is 2:00 in the morning. I'll save that for tomorrow. If you haven't already, there is a post on Straight from the A. I wanted to talk about both, but there's a post on Straight from the A. Nas wrote a 7-page letter to Khalees. He addressed the abuse allegations. He addressed, her keeping their son away from him. He talked about a lot of things in that letter. So read the letter first over on straightfromtheA.com, and then we can discuss it at some point tomorrow. Coincidentally, Nas was on stage earlier on the One Music Fest stage, and I put a little clip of that on YouTube. But anyway, you guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I didn't mean to stay on this late. I had allocated an hour, and I realized I have been on an hour and 39 minutes. I appreciate y'all, chit-chatting about this whole Nicki Minaj, Cardi B situation. My issue with the whole situation is Cardi B should have, held her tongue at least one more day. Why confront the girl on the red carpet? We didn't have to do that. We are too grown to do that. And and if you haven't already, visit the site and you can read the entire story. You can read Cardi B's response to the story. And the one last thing that I like to say about the Cardi B Nicki Minaj situation, Cardi B's response when she was like, she did it because of all the slick shade and this, that, and the third.
I think it would have sat better with her fans and potential sponsors or whatever the case may be to have just owned it and been like, I lost my temper, I apologize, it's not the right place to do it. But she didn't say all of that. She justified her actions by saying, I wanted to whoop this bitch ass. I wanted to whoop this bitch ass. You did this to me, you did this to me, you did this to me, and there's no excuse for you doing this to me. Instead of taking accountability for the things that she did in that platform, getting knocked in the head, throwing her shoe, having to walk out barefoot, being embarrassed. Why didn't you just try to clear it up? Where are her people to have told her that that was a bad idea? That's just my thought on the subject. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys later. If you haven't already, like this video, subscribe